Hey Spookies, welcome to Let's Make Comics. Spooky Chan over here has been doing a series of tabling at convention, etiquette, branding, do's and don'ts, the infamous 18 basic steps of tabling at a convention. So looking over her scripts, there was one little nugget there that I thought was maybe worthy of its own whole video, which is probably going to be a short video.
Right. The elevator pitch.
The elevator pitch. It's such a kind of important part of not necessarily just conventioning, but pitching. You just never know when you're going to have this, especially at a convention, when you're going to have this random chance to pitch your project, your book, whatever it is you're working on. And to have that as concise and perfect as possible beforehand, I think is essential. I think it's just such a huge thing. I know for me, I've only done a few conventions, not anywhere near the amount of conventions Chan has done. I've done New York, San Diego. That's kind of it. But when I was pitching Emo Boy, you get into such a routine. People come by constantly. You're sitting there at your table. You're hoping people come over and talk to you. And you learn quickly that you have a few seconds to grab them. And I did not have necessarily a elevator pitch ready to go, but I learned kind of like on the job. I figured out exactly what would get them to crack a smile, what would get them to open it up and look at it. So like for me, I would say, oh, have you heard of Emo Boy? And the answer was no. No, I haven't heard of Emo Boy. And so what worked for me is I'd go, oh, okay, he's this emo kid. He's a teenager with he's very emotional and he has these superpowers. So he's kind of like Superman, except a completely worthless Superman, and his powers only make him more emo. And people would chuckle at that. And then I would tell them about a scene in the first issue. I'd say, like, in the first issue, he has his first kiss ever, and his emo powers are so emo her head explodes. And they look at that and they laugh. And sometimes they buy it, sometimes they wouldn't. But I figured out a real quick way to explain what it was I was selling, get them to chuckle, get them to look at it, and sometimes they would actually buy it.
And that's something to say too, that you got to kind of test run it on people and see what people actually liked and what they didn't like. It's something that I also discovered. I had my pitch for God Machine, and I had Satan in the pitch, the initial pitch, and people started to get a little uncomfortable, and I started to get a little uncomfortable, so I just made it into Strange Man. But it's something that you learn as you're at a convention, what actually works and what doesn't work.
At the right convention, Satan would sell tons of
I guess he would say.
You're at the horror convention, you'd be like, hey, have you heard of Satan?
I've got Satan for you. Yeah, so I mean, it's just something that, you can come up with a really great elevator pitch, and something that you want to hit all the beats that, makes your story interesting and unique to what you're saying. It could be like anybody else's thing, but it's what you're saying. But sometimes you have to change and adapt to what your audience is or who you're talking to. You notice conservative woman is coming over, you probably don't want to say Satan. Some kid in a bunch of black goth clothes and has a gur on their head, they'll probably love to hear about Satan.
Yeah, so you want to keep it quick, you want to keep it concise. Whatever the strong hook is, whatever like the real standout thing, what does your project have that probably nobody else has? You're going to want to hit that quick. You study the reactions, see how people react to it, tailor what you're saying to that. And, before you know it, you're going to have your elevator pitch and you'll be selling your Satan book like hotcakes.
And also something that was told to me in the beginning, pace yourself. You don't have to rush through it. I still kind of rush through mine. I try to take a breath, but I want to get that information to you so quickly. But remember, the person has to understand what you're saying as well. Should I pitch the God Machine? Give an example?
Go for it.
Go for it. Okay.
Hey, what's this book over here? Whoosh.
Wow, it's the God Machine. Have you heard about the God Machine? No? Let me tell you all about it. It's about this young man named Guy Salvador who's going through a really tough time in his life. His girlfriend just recently died and he's starting to see monsters and things, and he's not sure what's real and what's not until one night a mysterious man named Satan comes to him and tells him that his girlfriend is actually alive, floating in and out of what is known as the dream world, and Guy is the only one who can go and save him. It's about gods, teen angst, humor, darkness. It's got everything. And monsters. And that's the pitch. That's a
Take my dollar. Take my dollar.
give me your money. Give me your money.
It's a dollar, right?
No.
It's too late. I've got it.
But that's basically the element of pitching. The elevator pitch.
Yes, and it has to be done in an elevator.
Well, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any comments, leave it down below. And please remember to like and subscribe and ring the bell.
Yes. Elevator pitch us your comments.
Maybe.
Bye, Stinkies.
Bye.